if I think we should be all good. Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to MTVTA. Just doing a quick little technical checkup. Feels like I haven't been here in a while. Awesome. Do some quick little things. Welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you could make it. I know we're doing a little bit later than usual. Oh, man, last month was crazy. I'll have to give you guys a rundown in a separate video. But I know we're here for news today. But thank you guys for all the guys who checked in and all the guys who offered help and everything else. It was just moving houses, and you guys know how new builds can be. Contractors just making things crazy for us. But awesome, guys. Cool. Technicals look all good. We're all good to go. All right, guys. Welcome back to MTVTA. I'm your guys' host, Trent Manager. Got a little bit of a different setup today. We got a little bit of something a little higher. We're doing the standing desk, trying to feel a little healthier these days. But other than that, guys, thank you guys for coming back. And my gosh, just look what 3.5 weeks or 3 weeks can do to you, in this space. So for those who are following along and of course reached out and we had conversations, I had conversations with a lot of my Patreons and a lot of other you guys throughout the entire weeks for any questions and concerns, or we've seen so much just go on. I mean, I can't even begin to condense the amount of information that we have seen over the past 3.5 weeks that I was gone. And I know you guys were reading some other things to me, and making sure that I was up to date too. So I appreciate you guys for that. But man, long story short, my gosh, we got Ethereum sitting at an all-time high. We got Bitcoin previously making soon the same, and we know how November and October was. I mean, October did not disappoint like it does every year. And November is another month for just like we saw last month. So first off, let's kind of go over some housekeeping rules real quick, and just see what we need to get out of the way. So our agenda for today, where I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit shorter today just because we're kind of running behind in time, and Thursday will kind of be our regular scheduled day. Photoshop, preparing their NFT options as soon as possible, which I think is unreal. Just using Photoshop this morning. We're going to over some L2 beats, we're going to over some Arbitrum, some layer 2 scaling solutions, kind of break those down as to what's going on and how things are moving. DeFi Pulse, we're going to be go over this as well, the total DeFi lockups, and see how things are going in the DeFi space. Of course, they've been on the up and up pretty much since inception. So we're kind of going to break that down and see the winners and losers. Also, we're going to kind of go through Ethereum Name Service. We're going to announce some governance token plans that they're going to be doing. We've talked about airdrops in the past, just for you guys utilizing networks and other projects in the cryptocurrency space that, you can be eligible for things like this. ENS is looking to drop a ENS governance token to those who have used their services, and we're going to go over that as we kind of go further. Go over some willy woo stuff, some analytics, and see how we're looking, and, see how, Ethereum, even if it is bringing all-time high, the supply chalk verification and the difference between the supply chalk with Bitcoin and Ethereum on exchanges are hitting all-time lows, meaning that people are just sucking up the supply and gearing up for major moves in the future. And also we're talking about FTX and their partnership that they've been killing it. If you guys haven't watched the World Series, if you watch tonight or tomorrow, whatever the next game is, look for that FTX symbol on all the umpires and everywhere around the stadium. And we're kind of just gonna kind of touch on some sponsorship news. I mean, you guys have seen the NBA, Coinbase has got their own all their logos everywhere. FTX, people are we are moving quick, and we're also going to be going over some ultrasound money, some ETH burn as well. So awesome. Let's get to it. So first off, we're going to go to Ethereum news and kind of just see what we have for this week. So this was from October 30th. So this comes out actually every Sunday. So you guys actually want to subscribe to this. This is something that you can do. You just put in your email. They don't spam you too much, but goes through everything from EIP standards, mainnet execution, layer 2. This is great for the developers as well. We got a whole developer section for all you guys who are looking there and are currently in that sector as well. Kind of just going over the guys that got hyperlinks in there, through some security, ecosystem, enterprise, and application layers. And of course, cool. They actually got some job listings on there, along with some regulation and some general outputs for what is going on. So actually, we're going to stop on the application layer and kind of cover. We're kind of doing some more technicals today because I think it's important for where we're heading. And of course, we know how Q4 goes, that we kind of cover what the on-chain metrics are looking at, and of course, what the volume and pretty much following the money. So for Uniswap, past $500 billion in trading volume since launch. Still Uniswap, one of the biggest dexes, the biggest dex on the Ethereum network. Going over, of course, ZK rollups. We're actually going to talk about that here just in a second, and we're talking about some more CryptoPunks and some NFTs. But let me hop back to these ZK rollups and solutions. So, this is not new to me. We know that Ethereum fees are absolutely ridiculous, and for those, of course, who are just kind of new waltzing in here, or of course have been here for a while and had to suffer, awful large gas fees. NFTs. We've talked about layer 2 solutions and ZK rollups before, but we've talked about how layer 2 solutions are attacking the original mainnet of Ethereum, taking all that user great interface, rolling it up into a nice rollup, and making that way better for the user experience. So resulting in cheaper fees, definitely moving forward, and quicker response time, and 2.0, coming here pretty soon. There will be some implementations of sharding, sharding with a D, not the other way around. But we're going to talk about that kind of in a later date. But just keep these kind of in your radar for right now, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about ZK rollups as we continue to move forward into the L2 beat side. So, even going over to Photoshop, preparing their NFT options soon. So I read through this. Actually, I thought this caught me so by surprise. This came out about 2 days ago. I was using Photoshop while this news actually came out. So Adobe, hopping quick on the trend for NFTs, and they've realized that Adobe, as of right now, at least in their sector for video editing, I know iMovie, not GarageBand. I'm trying to think what other really good video editors are out there that are common. I can only really think of iMovie right now. But with that being said, these guys are at the top of their sector. I don't know anyone who's beating out Adobe in terms of their package suites or their products in general at this point currently. But it was really a matter of time until these guys kind of hopped into space, at least for the, and why would they not hop into the NFT sector, as most of their creative suite is for artists. And they even quote here, the system does not make it harder to mint an NFT or media you don't own the rights to, but it could make that NFT less attractive to the market. So they kind of went over some pros and cons as to the existing NFT export. Of course, I know kind of in the different in the past they were talking about fraudulent of how they're going to stop duplications of NFTs. We've heard about different stories of people taking artists who aren't NFT artists and using their artwork for deliberate scams and so on. So there are some things, of course, that needs to be put in the works. But of course, bullish news, how this translates to the media, of course, as we see for price action as well, has translated very, very nicely. So we see another giant absolutely taking a massive puddle step into the space, and this is going to be really important for us to watch out. Especially for you artists as well, because I'm paying attention really, really close to this, and I do have some questions that may arise in the future. Cool, awesome, guys, and we're actually going to go over to L2 Beats and kind of their overview and see, what we can pull from this data. So L2 Beat, if you guys don't know what that is, so this is the overview for all the Arbitrum, Layer 2 scaling solutions, ZK rollups, all the products that are attacking the sector of optimistic rollups from ZK. So all that means is, like we talked about, making the user interface on networks better. Rolling these very dense and very complex solutions, rolled up into a nice rollup for a better user experience. So we know Arbitrum is by far the number one top. If you guys didn't know that, Arbitrum controls really a majority of the share in terms of utilizing the optimistic rollups. For user experience. They are going to be the preferred behind Matic for production. Sorry, guys, that was a call. I'll give them a call back here just in a minute. But as we kind of keep moving, you guys can just see how a lot of these networks are playing the similar role. And I am firm on a multi-chain world about how these are going to play out and provide services and making layer 2 solutions more appealable, and of course getting more people on the network and making it not such a headache to use these tools. So, and of course we're kind of just see here, we can look at the 180-day max to the year, and of course the max that we've had, we kind of saw our boom back earlier this year, and the 30-day chart is just like an absolutely phenomenal. We went from $2.6 billion to pretty much nearly touching 5. I know we may have touched that just for a minute, but these are the numbers that we see, and this is something not new. We've talked about this for months now, guys. I mean, months. Every single week besides the 3 weeks that we were gone, we've been covering L2 Beats for a while now, and also going over to DeFi Pulse, talking about the locked ups in DeFi. We see MakerDAO, Curve, Aave still performing some of the best they ever have. Of course, it wasn't like this not too long ago from our local top in April all the way throughout the summer. We bled, but then of course recently, as we head into the cooler months and of course winter months, we know how the quarters start changing around. So we actually did see a pretty large dump. November 1st, I don't know what happened yesterday. I think that was Liquidity. I don't know what. I heard a lot of news yesterday. There was so much things going on. I heard about like Squid Game coin. I heard about so many different like rugs. I know Cream Finance had a little bit of a pretty big hack, and there's been some news I'm really not fully caught up to date yet. Just been transitioning. But in terms of all the main things for work, I'm all caught up. I just haven't really gotten a chance to dive into anything too speculative. But DeFi Pulse, we're sitting. We were sitting at 103 billion, which I mean was at a all-time high for us. It was. I mean, we were cracking all-time highs in DeFi Pulse, and I think we had a little bit of just a slight pullback. But these are the things that we pay attention to. So I know you guys were paying attention while I was gone, and I mean, not like I was really gone. I was still posting and doing everything. We just minus the live streams, and you guys were still connecting with me. So I know you guys were still paying attention to this stuff. And look at that, DeFi Pulse is hiring. So if that is something you would like to do, I'd work at DeFi Pulse. I think that'd be great. You'd probably get paid in crypto. So they always have a good interface, earn income tab, and it's always good to see what's going on, at least in DeFi world. And this is still a sector that's going to massively take a huge market share, and it'll continue moving. So, and do not forget that what are all these guys built on? What makes this all possible? Ethereum. So let's just all keep that in mind, and let's not be shocked at the price action as we see due to this. Awesome, cool. And also we're gonna go over to Ethereum Name Service. So this is interesting, and this is like what I like to push and share, just to kind of put it out there, because you guys just utilizing these new projects and these protocols, and of course these different features can yield you and possibly tons of free money. We talked about it back in the day. We talked about the Uniswap airdrop. We talked about the Matic Polygon. Talked about the MetaMask. I know MetaMask they have talked about a governance token, about those who have used MetaMask before and utilize their network. But usually when these plans come to fruition, at least how these governments are decided in DAOs. We haven't talked about TAOs too much, but in terms of how these government tokens are issued, just for you utilizing the network, you will possibly be rewarded for being an early innovator. So like we talked about with the Uniswap, protocol, is that those who utilized Uniswap in the earlier days, and it wasn't really that early, it was like last year, those guys who took the step in and got their hands dirty and kind of just really wanted to see what the technology was about, they were rewarded with free airdrops. And ENS, Ethereum Name Service, is doing the exact same thing. So for those who don't know what Ethereum Name Service is, if you go to Twitter, here, let me go to here. So when you see what I'm trying to pull up, just my profile. Oh, here we go. So like when you see here, this is my Ethereum name service name. So tvmdev.eth. So you plug that in and you can send a multitude of coins, kind of like a multi-signature. So it kind of takes out the long address for having to send or receive cryptocurrency. So there would be a good chance that Jon Snow, of course, can johnsnow.eth, and then he can use that wallet across all boards to accept or receive his selected cryptocurrencies. So that's the implementation of Ethereum name service, of how that works. So, and the DAO following it will be the coin ticker ENS. So that is how it is going to be distributed. And I mean, very, very excited. I mean, I've used ENS, so possibly I will be eligible for this. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. But other than that, I mean, this is just stuff to look out for. This is just stuff that happens all the time, and you will be rewarded for being an early innovator in this space. That is no doubt about that. So, and also, guys, wrapping up before we got one or two more left. Let's see how we're doing on time. Yep, we're doing just under 13. Awesome. And we're going to be going to Willy Woo, kind of just going over some on-chain analytics. While BTC is building up strength for all-time high escape velocity, ETH is quietly building even stronger on-chain fundamentals, not yet reflected on price. So we talked about the supply shock of what we're seeing right now. Looks like the purple line is going to be our let's see, I think purple line is going to be our supply, and then let's see, Ethereum supply. Does it have a colored? Oh, here we go. It's down here. Jeez, guys, this hasn't been that long. Exchange supply shock is going to be our purple, and market price is going to be our blue. So what we're seeing here, we are seeing a supply squeeze. So we're seeing supply shock. We see the lowest Ethereum levels we've seen on any exchange since our initial leg up from, I think it was 1,000 to about 2,500, I believe. And then, of course, the same way with our market price. We're seeing things very correlate. The demand is high. We don't see dips last, more than, a couple hours. These guys are gobbling up, whether it be big guys or small guys. But the strength is there. And we won't go over any charts today, but that is something I can post later if that's something you all would like to see. Kind of just some TA charts about how we're looking as Ethereum is in price discovery mode as we speak. So even going over to FTX, as we will wrap this up, this will be kind of our last in-depth before we go over to ultrasound money. FTX covering their MLB series. So, when you guys go on there, look out for the FTX patches on the umpires all around the stadium. This is the first cryptocurrency exchange deal major across sporting platforms, and one of the largest. I know FTX kind of made a big splash for the amount of money that they were, of course, putting down for this, and of course the MLB as well. So, if you guys just pay attention, just look at how many times they pop up everywhere. Like, they're on the backs of umpires or on the sides. I swear I even saw them on trash cans. It's really unbelievable, the amount of marketing and implementation these guys can have. So Sam Bankman, phenomenal. Really changing the game, and that's FTX's CEO. And finally, guys, before we wrap up here, we are going to be going to Ultrasound Awakening. So this is another good one that we use to measure the burn. So like we talked about, and if you guys kind of just forgot, no worries. We talked about how Ethereum utilizing the network, the Ethereum network initiates Ethereum burned. So we are seeing, we're starting to see deflationary blocks. So if you guys remember, we talked about how the burn is implemented for EIP1559, moving forward from proof of work to proof of stake. So when the network is being at high peaks, we see high fees, and every fee and transaction on the network are burned. So therefore Ethereum is shrinking its supply, not to, of course, to where Bitcoin is, but of course making it a more scarce asset and giving that incentive to hold the asset or lock it up for APY value, or of course lending it out for passive income, whatever it may be for you. So if we kind of just see the product supply, and I can put this in a link for you guys, even though we do play around with this quite often, but I will put it here for you guys. So if you guys want to play around with it, you can. There it is. Going down, it kind of gives you the projectile of what the output could be. So we see the Genesis block, from the very beginning of inception of Ethereum, and now we're seeing what the playout would be, of the burn mechanism for moving forward. So you can see the scarcity in Ethereum comes lower and lower as the fees get burned, or things get burned. And of course you see the staking amount, 7.9 million. We're seeing in accounts, and you can see the distribution of how where Ethereum is stored and how it's being utilized on the network. So long story short, this is something really to pay attention to, because this is something that's going to not only drive Ethereum's price higher, but of course gives that kind of that scarce mechanism that most people like in their assets. So great things to pay attention to. I know this is kind of a quicker day. I know we didn't really sit on here too long and cover. I know we're just under 20 minutes. It's probably the longest, or sorry, that's probably the lightest live stream I've probably done in a while, but just kind of wanted to give a quick welcome back. Thank you guys for sticking it out, and all those who checked in on me again. And of course, I'm going to be here to help you guys out. You guys know you guys can contact me anytime for any help or services you need. And I believe that is going to be it for me on wrapping up today, guys. So we will see you guys on Thursday, unless anything changes. Just stay aware in the Patreon, and emails are always open, guys. But thank you guys so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.